What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a film that is a few years older now, but I was actually really excited to watch this. I sat down and watched it with my family, and I am always entertained by these Lego movies. I think they always do a really nice job at kind of catering to younger audiences, but simultaneously providing humor for adults that works really well. And this is a movie that I hadn't seen for years, but I know, like, talked about in the community with Batman movies. There are a lot of Batman lovers out there who love this movie quite a bit, and I'm excited to discuss it a little bit with you today. And the movie I'm going to be discussing is the Lego Batman movie. The Lego Batman movie is directed by Chris McKay. A cooler than ever Bruce Wayne must deal with the usual suspects as they plan to rule Gotham City, while discovering that he has accidentally adopted a teenage orphan who wishes to become his sidekick. So I was really excited to watch this. I had never seen it before, and I genuinely loved this. I thought that it was absolutely hilarious. It was a breath of fresh air. As someone who is so tired of comic book movies that I'm really getting sick of them, to be quite honest. This movie just felt so fresh and funny, and like it was kind of mocking the whole superhero scene anyway, which I love when movies can be very self-aware like that, and that DC let them get away with it in this movie was really great too. And I think that it was filled with a lot of really fantastic vocal performances as well, and I'm excited to tell you about it today. So obviously we're introduced to Batman at the beginning of the movie, and we see him kind of doing his normal thing, saving Gotham City, and he has a confrontation with Joker where he tells Joker essentially, "I don't care about you, you mean nothing to me." And Joker eventually decides, well, if you don't care about my relationship, then I'll just turn myself in. And he forces himself and all of the other villains in Gotham City to turn themselves over to the police. And the new police chief that has taken over for Commissioner Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, has said Joker must be up to something, and Batman feels the same. But after a few weeks of trying to figure out what he's doing, he becomes miserably lonely. He doesn't have to fight crime anymore. He doesn't have anything to do. So before Joker comes up with something, he decides, I'm going to send him to the Phantom Zone, which is obviously the prison where Superman sends the villains that he fights. And so he decides to send Joker there. And the entirety of the movie is him getting this plan together to send Joker into this Phantom Zone while simultaneously adopting Dick Grayson, who, as we know, eventually becomes Robin. So like I said, I thought this was wildly entertaining, and there are a ton of reasons for that. For starters, the vocal performances here are great. I think Will Arnett is a perfect Batman. I think that he encapsulates everything that is kind of mocked about the character of Batman, that self-centeredness. He's very emo, and I say that in the best way possible. I love it so much, just how, like, the way his character reflects on his past, and just like the monologues that he delivers. It's so overblown in the most comedic way possible. And I've always, like, Batman has never been one of my favorite characters by any means, and I honestly think a lot of the interpretations of Batman in the live action movies haven't been great. I don't like Christian Bale's Batman. I feel like the villains in those movies are really great, but I don't find him to be a very interesting Batman. I did like Robert Pattinson's a lot, but I feel like I love this kind of, like, caricature of Batman, and just like taking all the elements of his personality and making them incredibly ridiculous. I also really like the choice of Michael Cera playing Robin. I think that he fits that perfectly, and I think his line delivery is really great. And there are a ton of characters in this. Don't even get me started. Like, I could go through each and every actor and actress in this movie, and I think they all do a really phenomenal job to create a world that's really easy to immerse yourself into. I love the animation in this. It's very vibrant and colorful, and I love the fact that it's Legos, because there's a lot of little clever things that the directors can do utilizing the fact that these are Lego pieces. And I think that makes the movie an even more engaging watch. It always takes me back to when I was a kid and I would play those Lego games on, like, the GameCube, and I always had so much fun with those games. And it was like you were getting to enjoy a property that you really love, but like having it be Lego added another layer of enjoyment to it. And that's what was really cool about this animation. Even like people who would jump on the top of a ship and you could see their feet sticking in the little pieces hanging out of the Legos. Like, I love that. It's just really creative, and it's something that, like, sometimes utilizing a property, it just feels like a gimmick to make money, where it's like, okay, there was no real reason to use this. But I think utilizing Lego for these properties works really well because it adds another layer of personality to it. I also am really appreciative of the humor in this movie. I feel like they do a really nice job catering to both children and adults. There's some just really like silly, goofy humor in this, but there's also a lot of humor targeted towards older audiences that I think works really well. I like too that it kind of parodies superhero movies, like at the beginning when Joker's talking about everyone that's helping him, and it's just like the most absurd. You start out with your normal Batman villains, but then it just gets more and more absurd as like a, hey, this is comic book movies now. It's just kind of like villain of the week. Let's put whoever out there that we want to at this moment, and it just becomes tiresome when it's like the villains are incredibly underdeveloped, and it just doesn't really matter. It's just like Batman has to stop bad guy, and it's so much more interesting when you can use movies to develop a villain's backstory. And obviously in this it doesn't matter as much, but it is fun to kind of showcase all of those characters and kind of poke at like, yeah, we do this kind of thing. But it gets really crazy with the references towards the end, especially when they unlock the villains in the Phantom Zone. I think that it's really kind of absurd, but it also has a very sweet message about family, and I think that that was cool that it was able to be kind of an absurdist comedy that consistently makes you laugh, but it also delivers a very sweet message about family to kids that are watching. And I just had a lot of fun with this. I really enjoyed the first Lego movie when it was released, and I think these movies are really creative, and I know there's a lot of opportunities and a ton of properties out there that they could do multiple Lego movies for, and I just think that it's a fun medium to experience a movie with, and it's a movie that I'm actually looking forward to revisiting again. It brought me a lot of joy. I laughed quite a bit when I watched it. I think if you've never seen this before, it's currently streaming on Hulu, and it's definitely worth a watch. So have you seen the Lego Batman movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was wildly entertaining. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.